Welcome to this video tutorial for the Thames Valley District School Board school websites. Today we're going to be taking a look at how to resize images for the different areas on your website. On our homepage, we'll notice we have the nice wide banner. We also have these 3 feature boxes that we can fit some photography into. We also have the ability to add some photos to the menu structure, and we have opportunities on our interior pages to add buttons that have photos attached to them. So there's 2 different types of photos that we are going to look at here today, 2 different layouts. I have selected 2 pictures over here on my desktop. One is a landscape layout, which means that it's wider than it is tall, and then we have a portrait layout. Now the portrait images are not suitable for a lot of cases like our banners. As you can see behind this image, the website is quite wide. This image is narrow. So if we're going to use this as a banner image, we're going to have to crop quite a bit of the photo out of it. So it's not going to really work for that case. We have to be selective with what kind of photos we're going to use for banners. This photo is a lot more appropriate. It's wider. We can crop a nice wide section of it out. It's going to work perfectly for banner images. Our other photo is more suitable for some of the feature boxes that we'll use on our website. So let's go ahead and log into the web system here. We'll hit Control twice on our keyboard, which will bring us to our login screen. Alright, so the first thing we need to do is upload our images to the web system. So I'm actually going to go to a web page that I'll be editing. There we go. So again, I'm going to hit Control twice to log in, and then I can choose to edit my banner or the content on my page. So let's start with a banner image. I've already done a video on how to change our banner image. So just to go over it quickly, we'll click on the image itself. It'll enter an edit mode, at which point we can then hit this insert or edit image icon. So when I click that, I'm taken to a fairly familiar dialog box. This is where we can upload our images to. So if I click the file browser icon at the end of the image URL box, it'll open a new window for me. I'll have to make sure I'm in the correct folder I want to put this into. So as you can see here, under selected folder, I have TVDSB Test School, Resources, Banner Images. That sounds like a great spot for it. I'm actually going to upload both of these images into the same spot for the simplicity. So I'll click upload, I'll choose my files. Here they are. And I'll upload them both at the same time. Now, bringing these images in, they're not automatically the correct dimension. So if I click the image, it'll tell me that the size of the image is too big and I need to change the dimensions. It'll automatically prompt me to resize the image. So if I click yes, it'll take me to the image editor tool. However, I can also get there by clicking this little arrow in the bottom right-hand corner and click edit. Now, because it knows I'm trying to replace this banner, it's automatically going to suggest the correct sizes when I click resize. It already knows I need a 1600 pixel wide image, so it sets that value automatically for me. So I'll click apply, but it's still too tall to fit into my banner area, so I'll now click crop. Now here, it knows that the value I need is 520 because I'm trying to insert it as a banner, so it automatically suggests that height. But the crop box is a little bit off, so I'm just going to adjust that by clicking and dragging. And that's starting to look a little bit better. I can scroll around in the preview area here just to see how it's going to look. So that looks a lot better. I'm going to click apply, and then I'll need to resave this image. But I don't want to overwrite my original file, so what I normally do is put the pixel dimensions, 1600 by 520. That way, when I save this, I can tell exactly what size it is by looking at the file name, and I know that it's going to fit in my banner area no matter what. So I'll select my, my banner here, and then I need to provide some alt text, which I already have in this case because it's a similar picture to what I had in there. And then I'll click Update. So it's replaced the image for me. It looks a little funny right now just because it hasn't loaded the entire thing, but I'll click Save. And my banner image should be replaced, sized specifically for that area. Now let's talk a little bit about content images. When we're looking at the content of our page, we can insert images and resize them here, but we also have the ability to add image boxes. So in the left-hand column here, you can see we have the ability to add a 1-column image box, 2, 3, or 4. You may see these across the district site fairly frequently. They're a great way to call attention to different links or documents that you want users to click on. So I'm going to click and drag and bring my 3-column image box over here. If I don't like that, I can actually click delete and get rid of it, and then bring over a 2-column image box. But I think I'll stick with the 3-column just because that's a good example. Okay, so it's added my 3-column image box layout above my content area, which is exactly where I wanted it. So now I can go in and edit these boxes by clicking Manage Content. Now this is where I'm going to find the other image I made. I click the File Browser button. It'll launch the file browser for me. And it already knows where I am, so here's my image. Now it's uploaded sideways for some reason, so again, I'm going to edit that. I have the ability to flip or rotate or resize it, so I'm going to have to do all of those. Click this a few times. We're still 90 degrees. Now we're upside down. 270, there we go. So I'll click Apply. That image will now be rotated appropriately, but it's still quite large. Now, if you've taken a look at this school website, the school website info group, you'll know that we actually have documents that'll help you here. So if you know how to get here, you'll click the school website info part. This is where the email conversations are happening, but if you click the 3 dots here, you can be taken to the site. This is where we host the style guide and other helpful manuals. So the style guide will actually tell you the width of every image that you'll need on this website. So I'm going to go to interior pages here. So here you can see the recommended image size for 1-column, 2-column, 3-column, and 4-column. So because we've set a 3-column layout, the image size I need will be 445 by 270. So again, that is a wider layout. Oops, where's my, here we go. So I'm going to click Resize. Now, it doesn't automatically resize this for me because it doesn't know what size image layout I've automatically chosen. Therefore, I'm going to need to do this manually. Generally, what I will do is select the larger size of the dimension. So our size here is 445 by 270. I'll choose 445. So I know that my image has to be that wide. So I'll click Resize and set the width to 445. I'll make sure that the constrained proportion box is checked so that it maintains the visual integrity, and I'll click Apply. So this photo is now 445 pixels wide. However, as you can see again in my style guide, I need 270 pixels wide, and it's a lot taller than that. So again, I'll need to crop this. Now the width of my image is 445, which is perfect, but the height I need to set to 270. So I'll set my crop box to have a height of 270 and a width of 445, and then I can click and drag this to where I'd like. I'll now click apply, and I'll have to save this image, but again, I don't want to save over, so I'm going to put my pixel dimensions in here so that it's easy for the next time I need to use something that's 445 by 270. So here's my new image right here, and I can click that and it goes in without any problems. So I'd go ahead and choose a link. So this one I'm going to actually link directly to the district website and set that to be in a new window. So here's my image box. I forgot to do one thing actually to it, which was the heading. And now you'll see that's a great way to link to documents or to other pages on your website. Let's talk about the feature boxes on the home page, which is another great spot to add images to. Now these have, again, their own pixel dimensions that we need to adhere to. So now that I'm on my home page, I'll hit the control button twice. It'll enter edit mode. And as I scroll down the home page, you can see I have a Manage Boxes button here. Again, in our style guide, we have the pixel dimensions right here, featured items. If you see the pictures here, they're corresponding to numbers. So number 6 here is a feature box item. So I'll scroll down in our style guide to number 6. Again, that's the featured items. Our image size needs to be 450 by 295 pixels. So on my home page here, I'll click Manage Boxes, and I'll get rid of one of these. So I'll start from scratch, delete, and I'll click New. So everything's blanked out. I need a new image for that. Let's find one in our image manager. So let's say I'd like to use one of these photos that was uploaded previously. If I click it, again, it's going to tell me that it knows what size the container I'm trying to put this image in, and it knows that the image I'm trying to use is too large. So it's going to prompt me to edit my image. I'm going to say yes. It'll take me to the image editor. This preview window shows me that the image is quite large. So I'm going to click Resize, and it automatically sets the width of my image to 450 pixels wide. That's great, but the height is a little too much for us. So I'm going to take the width, I'm going to say apply, and now I'm going to crop the image to just the right proportions, 295. Apply and save. Now I know that this is the image I just edited because the file name reflects the changes I made. I'll click that, add some alt text. I'll add a little bit of content. And if I'd like to, I'd add a link. Save that, and the new feature box will appear with the correctly sized image. So that's just a brief overview of how to resize images. We're going to want to do it according to, we're going to want to make our changes according to the larger value of the image that we need. So again, if we look at these, we want to make this, the width change first because they're always the higher value here. So we're going to want to make our image If we're using a 2-column layout, we're going to want to make each image 685 pixels wide first, and then crop it to 350 pixels tall. All right, if you have any questions, please feel free to email me at sean.tucker@tvdsb.ca or give me a call at extension 20207. I hope this video has helped you resize images appropriately for your website. Have a great day.